the whole Marty method involves paying attention to what you're playing.
Following chords, whatever the chord is, you have to follow it.
And
You don't have to follow it, but it makes your solos sound like they're worked out.
Right.
And they can be ad-libbed and improvised off the top of your head, but if you follow the chords, even if you do ad-lib them, they sound like, you know, you're really working them out.
Yeah, and you're saying that, so you're saying that even if you're playing in E minor, then you would go, your first thing would be to go to G major, which is a relative.
Oh, that conversation,
yeah.
Okay, to take it out.
Yeah.
The most basic thing, obviously, would be play E minor, kind of a root type of thing.
Right.
Anything that's right in there, but if you want to take it to the next step up, is like move up to the relative major, which of E minor would be G major. G major type of thing.
And actually play something that sounds like it's in G.
Yeah, really G. Something that sounds really G, and that's going to be your first step above E minor. And also another way to do, a great way to do this would be have two guitars so you can hear the root pad under it, but you'll just have to imagine it. So the next step above that would be B minor.
And then if the chord sequence then went to D.
And then chord sequence went to D, you could stay in that B minor for your first relative of D.
Right. So at this point then we are actually following the chord sequence because you're now going to D, and instead of just playing it safe and playing an E minor pentatonic, you're going to D major and B minor.
Right. So like theoretically, if the chord progression goes E minor and D, you could play your solos as if it was G. And then for D, go to the B minor. So you're thinking G major and B minor, but the chords are saying E minor and D major. You follow me?
Right, no, gotcha. So
that'll give you one vibe on the whole thing.
Right.
That's blanketing the whole thing. I like to change a million times in between. But to get the basic idea, ground floor is like, if it's E minor, it's D major, you can say, okay, today I'm gonna pretend it's G major and B minor, and just hit those first basic relative chords there.
Right.
And when you do that, you got to also be aware of what the root is that you're searching for and have target notes in there, because if you play off the relative too much, it's going to sound like he's playing off the relative. It's real cheesy, you know. If you get back to the home base enough times, it sounds like you know what you're doing. But if
so you've basically you've got to know not only where you're going, but get there at the right time. You can't if you get there eventually, you sound like some cheeseball just going, oh, this is relative, so I'm playing over the top of it.
Right. Of course, people who don't know music wouldn't figure that out, but it just sounds amateurish, you know. And like a lot of guys, what they do is like they play in the fifth below, like if it's an E, you know, they'll just play a B. Right, and they stay in there so long, it just sounds like, wow, he's just playing like a 7th frets below, you know.
Yeah, because they actually get so lost in playing in the relative that they actually, that in their mind, the root is now B and not E.
Exactly. So the whole thing, that's a good point, is you do not want to get lost in the relative. You want to be firmly, you know, deeply, you got to understand what the root is and know how to get to it at all times, or get to a note in the root chord, you know, B and F or E, you know, you want to be able to get to an E, B or a G, like real easily from wherever you're at, you know, or a 7th or whatever. And just be able to be aware of your root chord at all times, even if you're totally outside in the relative and playing weird shit, you know, you got to be aware of the root place and how to get there from anywhere. And you don't have to go far. It doesn't matter where you are. You can always find a note that's like going to be in your root.
Right. So you can actually like play. So playing outside. So
yeah, I mean, if you can even be doing something totally obnoxious. E. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's an E everywhere. You know? You can do something totally meaningful. Get to something American after that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I use that term not because you're English, but I mean like something that doesn't sound like it's from Mars or something. Right. You know what I mean? Just get to something normal, and then you can do anything before it. The key is how well you know your base, your home base, and how to get to it.
Yeah, I think, didn't we come up with the analogy last time you were saying it's okay to go, it's okay to drive through a strange neighborhood, but don't end up.
Yeah, make sure you know the correct. Yeah, that's right. Make sure you know how to get home. You know,
get shot.
Be in a bad neighborhood and if you hang out there too long, you're going to get shot. But if you slide in and out there, you know you're a cool guy for going to that bad neighborhood. But when you get home, you're a hero because you made it home. Right. Man, this is getting right exactly what I was saying. If you drive through the bad neighborhood and get home safely, then you can say I'm rad because I made it through that bad neighborhood. But if you stay in that bad neighborhood too long and you get shot, then you're definitely not cool.
Yeah, so if you hang out in the bad neighborhood long enough that you actually think you're part of that and you go and have a beer somewhere.
There you go.
Then your ass kicked. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. It's all about metaphors today.
Yeah, certainly. So you're saying whilst I've got you, if we can spend a couple of minutes, so you were talking about like paying attention to the chords below. So how that was another conversation we were having, talking about as opposed to just solving in one scale, following the.
Well, I think we're going to wind up talking about Hotel California here.
Yeah.
Because, this is a progression that everybody knows, and it's not even about taking it outside at this point. It's about following those basic chords.
Right.
And it goes like here to this. Well, I'll play a solo. This is got to be the goal of every guitar player, is to be able to solo melodically against a chord progression that's only in their head.
Right.
You don't have any buddies playing guitar for you. You hear the chord progression. So right now, I'll give you an example. I'll just wing something playing against the Hotel California progression.
Yeah, so you're actually imagining the Hotel California.
And hopefully you'll be able to hear that progression through the solo.
Right.
You know. Sort of hear that progression. We have a lot of cheesy licks in there, but the idea was following every chord. You know what I mean?
So if you break it down for the real beginner who would, if I transcribe that, would just go and have them probably purposely drive into his bad neighborhood.